Amanda here. So we're continuing working on the Spring Blossom Cottage journal. Last video was this magnetic closure for the pop out element, and I said I'd come and do some interactive bits for the inside and back cover. So here we are. So what you're going to need, and just adjust the sizes according to your size of journal in height. Take the concept. I've done it very simply so you can just resize it. There's no fancy nothing. Okay, so I put these in my trimmer at 6.5. Let me just make sure I've cut that one the same size. Yeah, I put them in my trimmer at 6.5, and then I just pulled it just shy of 8. Did I say 6.5? 8.5. And then I just pulled it just shy of 8.5. Not even an eighth, just a whisper, just to make sure that it doesn't protrude top and bottom. Okay, so just shy of 8.5 for this one, and then 4.5. Okay, and then we're scoring on the with the shorts with the 4.5 inch side to the top of your scoreboard. We're scoring at 1/2 inch. This one is the same in length, so it's just shy of 8.5, and this one measures 4. Put it in at the 4 inch on your scoreboard, score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so these are just very simple. Okay, and these want to go down first. So because I'm right-handed, I like right over left. So they're going to slightly overlap. Okay, like so. Can you see? So whichever way around you like it, I like to go right over left. If you prefer it the other way, you can go that way. All right? So let's bring my journal in and get some glue. And all we're going to do is glue these. First, the short one is going to the left, and I'm going to do it as close up to the edge of the cover as I can. Flush top and bottom, nice and straight, centralised, because don't forget we've cut it ever so slightly smaller. I'll just get that hair out. Okay, and we're covering over this, straight over the top of that. So as close to the edge as you can without it actually going over the edge, and then centralise it because we've cut it a hair width shorter. Okay. The most important thing is to make sure it is straight. Okay. I do need a bit of drying time because I've used fabric tape and I'm using glue. I don't like to use tape. I do prefer glue. Sometimes when I'm doing folio tutorials, I'll use tape just for quickness. But I do always reach for the wet glue because it gives you room to manoeuvre it if it's not straight, and it will hold better over time. I hate to have to tell you, but no glue will last forever. Doesn't matter if you use whatever you use, none will hold forever. It will all eventually fail. But you know, hopefully we're, you know, pushing up the daisies by the time that happens, so we're not bothered. Even the most expensive adhesive is never going to last forever. Okay, it's just a fact. Okay, but your cheap tapes and those cheap tape rollers in them little plastic things where you go like that, useless. Okay, sorry about the dogs, they are just plain rude. So this is going close to the spine. I don't want it right on the fold. I'm having it just slightly away. I'm making sure that it's flush top and bottom, and that it's lined up nicely with the other piece. Okay, and let me just have a look. I'm not on my fold, I'm lined up, and it's pretty straight. Okay, now I'm going to be decorating these, matting and layering them in my Facebook group tonight. We're doing it at Facebook Live. That is the day that this video goes out, so if you're watching this video in the future, it's already been done. Now we're going to put a pocket in here. Okay, so the pocket measures, if I've measured it right, in fact I might just need to adjust it. Might actually need to adjust it. So we'll see if I need to adjust it. My pocket measures 7 by 4, and I've scored on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. Now I might need to adjust it because those flaps are not really flush up to the edge of the page. I might need to adjust this pocket. Let's have a look. Is it gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna need to adjust it. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to just redo that score on the next 1/8 of an inch down. Okay, so if you're doing it and your covers are 6 inches wide, you probably want to cut your piece here to 6 7/8, okay, instead of 7. 6 7/8, then score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides, and it will just bring that pocket a little bit shorter on the, you know, on the width, so that because you want it to fit between those 2 flaps. Okay, so let's have a look. Now that should fit between the flaps because you want the flaps to close. Okay, so 6 7/8 by 4. Okay, 1/2 inch all the way around. Then we're going to cut across where the score lines meet. Okay. Make sure they don't overlap when you fold them in, which mine don't. Give it a really good burnish. And we're just going for simple here. We don't want big and bulky and loads of like folio type flips because we want room for our journal signatures. Okay, so I've gone for very, very simple. Just basically extra storage or extra places to put photos or to just display those beautiful papers. Okay, I'll be just lining mine with beautiful papers. So now we're going to glue the flaps. Okay. And a bit more glue on there, Amanda. Don't want it falling off. That's the last thing we want. We want plenty of glue, but not too much. And then this is going to line up right on the bottom, and you're going to centralise it. You want it lining up with kind of to the bottom, but not right over the edge. And then centralise it. Because we've had to cut it, I've had to score it ever so slightly smaller so that these flaps will close. So just make sure you centralise it so it doesn't look too far to the left or too far to the right. And then press. Okay, so we can just line that with pretty paper, line this with pretty paper, decorate it, you could put a tab on it. And then these here, I'm not going to add the closure yet because I want to line them with paper. But once I've lined them with paper, they're going to have these. So I've done the circle closures. Okay, I've layered up some cardstock with some paper. I will put a hole through. And then once I've layered my paper, I don't know if I'll layer it both sides. I don't know. I'm going to layer my paper and then I'm going to add that on with an eyelet there, one there and one there. And it'll just close very simply with some kind of twine or string. Okay? But you just need to layer those up so that they're nice and sturdy. Right, so for the back, we're just going to do a deconstructed envelope. So you're going to need, let me just think which way I want it. I'll have it this way. So the large piece is going to measure 9.5, I should imagine. Yeah, 9.5, or the height of your cover plus an inch, 1/2 inch each side to fold under. Okay, so 9.5, and I've done mine by 4.5. Okay, 9.5 by 4.5, we're going to very quickly and very easily score with the length on the top of your scoreboard. So that's the 9.5 inches. Score at 1/2 inch. Turn it around, score at 1/2 inch. And then on the 4.5 inch side, score again at 1/2 inch. And that just makes us a very, very simple pocket. So we're going to crease on the score lines. Okay. Right, let me just think about these top bits, whether I want to layer them down first. I might want to, excuse me, I've got hiccups, layer these on first. Let me think. Yeah, so top and bottom we're going to have some what I call bumpers or buffers, so they're just going to flip. Is that right? Have I done that right? If we're doing a deconstructed envelope, we don't need these. We don't need those. Right, let's change it. We don't need those. We don't need them. We only need a score at one side. So I'm going to cut that 1/2 inch off there. Turn it around. I want just under 8.5. My journal 8.5. I keep forgetting how tall my own journal is. Honestly, I should have it written down 8.5. So I'm just going to go just shy of 8.5 and I'm going to trim it off. Right, so new measurement. This is why you need to watch me all the way through, because I changed my mind. So just under 8.5 by 4.5. You only need to score down one side. Apologies. Huge apologies. Right, I'm going to round the corners. And I'm using the 1/2 inch one. Okay, hopefully it will look all right. In fact, I'm going to do that after because I'm not sure. I'll do that after. So I need to measure, make sure this is just under 8.5 as well. Okay, and then I just need to score at 1/2 inch, and then I'll give you the measurements. So this one is just shy of 8.5 by 3. Yeah, and then my buffer pieces, I'm just going to do a trial run to make sure they fit. So that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. Right. What I'm going to do is, because obviously I've only got the one journal, so I'm designing on the hop. I'm going to add these on first and we can stick those over the top, it's fine. So my longest piece is going to the left and my shortest piece is going to the right. Okay, so I can see my spine there. So I want it close to the spine but not on it. Centralising it top and bottom. Oops, slipped. Let me just turn it. Where's my spine gone? There it is. Centralise and get that straight. Okay, so my gusset for my spine's there. I don't want it in the gusset of the spine. Let me just move it away ever so slightly so that I'm confident it's not going in that gusset. I don't want it in there. Okay. Is it straight? Yes, it is. I'm happy with that. Okay, and then the shorter piece is going to go at the other side. And I will probably round the corners when I'm confident that if I round the corners, the overlap, you know, when it overlaps, it still looks nice. Otherwise, I'll just... I'll deal with that later. So you can either round it or angle it or do what you like or just leave it plain. I have not decided how I want mine yet. I can't make my mind up. Okay, I cannot make my mind up. So I'm putting this as close to the other edge as possible. I'm centralising it top and bottom, making sure it lines up neatly with the other one. And then I'm going to commit. Okay. So you can take this idea and use completely your own measurements. You could make this bit longer if you wanted. Okay. I'm completely happy with that. Just make sure it's straight. Doesn't want to stick. Straight, please. There we go. Okay. Because you're using glue, sometimes if you press down quite hard when you're smoothing it, it can shift a little bit. And also, it's always good to leave things to dry, but when I'm doing tutorials, I don't have that luxury. Okay, I might need to go and add some more glue on that one. So then these flaps, I'm just going to check that they fit inside there, and they do. Okay, that was my concern before I added these. So make sure they fit inside there and that these close nicely. So mine measure 5 7/8 by 3 1/2, and I've got 2 of them. Okay, again, I may round the ends, not sure. Not decided what look I'm going for. Don't know if I want to round them or like angle them like a tag. So you need to put them in on the short side, so on the 3 1/2 inch side, and score at 1/2 inch. Okay, 1/2 inch. So at the beginning of the video, you will see I will have done the paper layering. I'll probably edit it in. I'll probably say hello and welcome twice, so I am sorry. And I'm either round these or do an angle. And these just want to go top and bottom. Now the important thing with these is that they don't show when the other 2 flaps are closed. So this one I'm lining up flush with the bottom and I'm centralising it. Okay. Making sure that when these are closed you can't see it, which you can't. Okay. Quite like it lined up with the rest of the cardstock at the bottom there. Got far too much glue on there. I'll have to get that off. But it's going to be lined with paper, so you're not going to see it. Fine line between not enough glue and too much, isn't it? Okay. Let me just get my glue eraser, because that is going to bother me. Excuse me 1 minute. Talk amongst yourselves while I rescue my project. Oh dear. As long as you can't see it in those gussets, the rest will cover over with the patterned paper, so I'm not too worried. But I've gone a little bit overboard with the glue there. Okay, that's fine now. Right, let me just check it's straight. It's moved, so let me just move it back down, make sure it's not showing when I've closed my book from the back, which it's not. And then we can do the same with the top, being a little bit more careful with the glue this time, Amanda, please. What a nana. So one good way is to actually spread it out with your finger, but when I'm filming, that makes me all in a big gluey mess, and I've got nowhere to wipe it. So I'm going to put this one right at the top. Okay, again I'm centralising it. nice and straight. And then what this is going to do is you'll decorate all that. You can put whatever you want in, and then you can close them flaps, close that flap. It's not glued, so it's moving. Just a minute. And then you'll close that flap and close that flap, and we're going to do the same again with the closures. Okay, so, and that is what they call a deconstructed envelope. So you could even, you know, cut it quite deep there, straight there, angled there. That might be what I do, but I don't know, because I want to make sure that whatever cut I make here doesn't show this in a bad light. So I might just round it. I've only got, what have I got there? Half an inch. I've only got half an inch overlap. If you want to do a fancy cut, like an angled cut or something, you need to make this piece deeper, okay? Otherwise, when you overlap them, you'll see that. You don't want that. Right, so that's the very simple interactive elements, okay? You could add extra ephemera on there, very small, what they call it, photo mats even, or put large photo mats in there, or letters, or whatever you like. So that's what we're doing. And then that completes all of the construction for our journal. And now all you've got to do is decorate your pages. So I'll come back and I will share with you at a later date when mine is completely finished. If you're in my Facebook group, I'm going to be doing some decorating, so you can join me over there and we can do some crafting together. All right, perfect. Nice and simple, doesn't need to be complicated. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.